Welcome back to another episode of the D Will Show. I am your host, D Will. This is episode 145. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the D Will Show podcast, where you can get in tune with over 100 plus episodes of former basketball players, NBA players, business owners, and more. Also, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, The D Will Show, where you can also watch all of those. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, 27 Horizon. Connecting your business to new horizons. Contact 27 Horizon for all of your creative design needs and book them today to make your event one to remember when you DJ or photo services. DM 27 Horizon for more info. Now, to introduce our guest, it's my big brother. It's my guy, all the way from Chicago, Foreman High School, pro, St. Louis University. Man, I want to introduce my dog, Mike McCall, to the show. My guy, what's good, bro? Man, man, long time coming, man. You know, we've been talking this for a while. So you was like, you hit me when you seen me the other day. You was like, let's do it. So appreciate you taking time out, man. For real, it means a lot. Man, to start it off, Brody, you know, for those who are not really too familiar with your story, you know, just take us through, you know, your upbringing, you know, where you from and stuff like that.
From the north side of Chicago. I went to Foreman High School, which is on the north side as well. Graduated from there. Went to St. Louis U. Graduated from there all 4 years, and then, I played pro for 10 years. Europe, played in Africa, Iran. I'd have been all over, bro, and played.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, for real.
What got you into hooping, Brody? You know, as a kid, you know, we all played everything outside. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, football, baseball, you know, whatever. What made you want to pick up the rock, you know, and start hooping?
I really was into baseball at first, man, but my pops put the rock in my hand for real. Made me fall in love with it. And as a kid, you just be playing anything, bro, for real. Anything that kind of man, you playing, you just outside. That was pretty much me.
What was the switch for you? Like, I know you said baseball was your go-to, but what was the switch for you where you really clicked? Like, no, I really want to hoop.
I was decent in baseball, but the more I started playing like basketball, I was like, oh yeah, this, I started getting better in that. I started getting love in that for real. I'm like, oh yeah, I think this is what I want to do for real right here. So
for sure. You got any like favorite, moments where you really click? Like, okay, you start playing and you really start to know, okay, I'm nice with it. Was that a moment in the game or a certain moment where you was like, all right, it makes sense now?
Really, I was in grammar school, man, and then my coach, my high school coach Terry Head,
okay,
and college because they was like my high school coaches at the time. But when I was in grammar school, they came to one of my games, and like they told me, they was like, man, you could be like, you got a chance to be real good, you know what I'm saying? And then they introduced me to like AAU and stuff like that, which I didn't know what that was at the time, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
And I started playing around and traveling the world, playing against some of the best in the world and stuff like that. That really made me like think that I was like, I really could do this, you know what I'm saying, for a long time, for real. Especially playing against like the top talent, and I'm doing my thing. Imagine like if I keep getting better, you know what I'm saying, grinding and stuff like that. Sky's the limit for real.
For sure. Now, who did you run with for AAU, bro? You know, because it's a bunch of teams. Well, now it's crazy amount of teams from Chicago. But who did you run with for AAU?
It was basically Foreman High School. You know what I'm saying? Like my high school team, we kept it local, bro. Like we wanted to build from the ground up. So, a couple guys. Eddie Denard. Them like one of my closest homies. Vontae, Doherty, all us was on the team. And then we had some guys like from other schools, like some guys from East, North Lawndale on the team. It was like mostly like dudes that went to Foreman and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, speaking, how was that whole AAU experience for you? You know what I mean? Because some people enjoy it. You know, now it's the key to getting kids into school and life after college and stuff like that. How was your whole AAU experience?
It was dope. I enjoy AAU, man. I ain't gonna lie. It got me, the exposure was there. It got me out there as a player. You know what I'm saying? Got me on the market. People that like to, you know what I'm saying, to know who Michael McCall was. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I was playing against top talent from all over. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want to hoop, you want to play against the top guy. You want to play the best competitions possible. So,
for sure,
I feel like that's what AAU was. You know what I'm saying? Introducing us to basically getting us out there. You know what I mean? I enjoy AAU, the traveling. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, playing and all that. it was dope to me.
For sure. Now speak on, Foreman High School. Now, it's, you can go to any high school you want to, so to speak. What was Foreman always the school you planned on going to? Did you look at going to any other school? I know you said you kind of grew up in that area, or was that always Foreman High School for you?
Well, I'm from up north, so Lincoln Park like down the street from me, from where I
Mhm.
stayed. You know what I'm saying? And like all my people went to Lincoln Park, so I was going there. When I was a shorty, I went to a couple Lincoln Park camps. So I knew some of like the guys that was on varsity and stuff like that, and I knew like the coach. I was real familiar with those guys, so I was like, this is where I wanted to go. Especially that was like the neighborhood school, so I was definitely
Mhm.
going out. But playing AAU with like Vontae and Eddie and all them, like when I say when we was shorty and we was like running the city, just beating everybody, bro. We was like, imagine if we all go to the same high school and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like put our name on the map, do something for me ain't never done before. Let the city know that we, you know what I'm saying, we here for real, basically. So we all decided to just go to the same high school and, like I said, build from the ground up, do something special for real.
For sure. I know you spoke on a little bit of AAU and really getting your name out there. When did like colleges really start to get on the radar for you? When they start reaching out to you? Was it during AAU circuit or was it during former days?
Early, eighth grade, bro. Like
Okay.
they was calling, getting in contact with Coach Head and stuff like that. That's when I really started. That was another reason why I really started like I can do this for real. Like getting like all the attention from these colleges and stuff like that. Going to school to play ball, you know what I'm saying, for free. You know what I'm saying. Moms ain't had that bread for me to go. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, to go to pay for all that money to go to school. So I was like, oh yeah, that's something that I really wanted to do. So um, but they was early, bro. They was you know what I'm saying, contacting like coaches and stuff like that early. I was getting letters and stuff like that, offers and all that. So
Right.
um, really like yeah, eighth grade.
What was some of the like? What was your first school that really offered you that you remember? And who were some of the schools that you kind of were talking to, potentially looked at?
SIU Carbondale. That was
That
like
was
the
your first
first
one.
that was like the first school, the first offer I had. And I ain't
Okay.
gonna lie, I was ready to sign on the spot for real. Like I was thirsty. Like Coach Ed was like, hold on, chill, it's early. Like you gonna get
Mhm.
way more than this. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
where I'm from, bro, I ain't like, come on, man, I'm getting when you get like a scholarship or offer from a school, you know what I'm saying, to play for free, all that money, man, like I'm ready to go. Like I'm saying right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But yeah, I was a little thirsty though. But that was the school that really like that tapped in, you know what I'm saying, right away with the offer and whatever.
Thanks. Now, I know you just said your eighth grade was the first one. When did you really sign to St. Louis? Was that towards the end of your high school career, or when did you really lock in with them? And what was the reason signing with St. Louis?
It was my senior year. I'm saying I
Okay.
really wanted to get it over early for real, man, because I wanted to like focus on like the season, try to
Right.
win me a little city championship, state, and all that. I ain't want to go through the season with all that on my mind. You know what I mean? I wanted to get that over with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I picked St. Louis, man, because they was real from the beginning for me, bro. And that's like really why I like picked the school. You know what I'm saying? It was a great conference, great players. They made it to the tournament. You know what I'm saying? They had like top 6, 7 teams that make it to the turn back then to the tournament every year. You know what I'm saying? I had Rick Majerus as my coach, Hall of Fame coach. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? So I'm looking to all that. You know what I'm saying? Picking the St. Louis, and then they was always around too, bro. They always checking in on me. You know what I'm saying? They was at all the games, coming to like open gyms and stuff like that. Like I ain't gonna lie, I got tired of seeing them so bad. That's how much they was around. So I was like, damn, they really want me for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, going on the visits and in-home visits, they just kept it real with me and said I got to work hard. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to be real good. So
Sure.
um, that's why I chose them for real.
So overall, was the recruiting process easy for you? Because sometimes I know you just said you kind of want to get it over with to keep your mind clear. Was it a good experience for you? Because like I said, sometimes it can be real draining. Like I said, this is life changing decision that you have to make. But how was your experience with it?
It was draining for sure. It's gonna get hectic. You know, them schools they gonna get in contact with if they really want you, bro. You know, like I said, I ain't wanna go through the whole process, but I did. I took all my visits and stuff like that, and every visit was dope. You know what I'm saying? They always show love. The coaches show love. You know, the former players that's there and stuff like that. Definitely enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, where I'm from, bro, I ain't seen no college campuses like this. I ain't been traveling to different states and stuff like that to see this. So that was
Yeah.
something very you know what I'm saying, dope to see and stuff like that. Moms came with me, so that was good for her to be there with me and stuff like that, to enjoy that. Um so yeah, that was a big time.
How many visits did you go on?
I did
Was it-
three. I did three of them. Yeah.
Okay, what three was those?
Obviously St. Louis. I went to Illinois State, and I went to Texas A&M.
Okay,
Only,
okay.
you only can go on three for real, but I had some other schools that I really was like looking to that I really wanted to go to as well. But those are three that I took.
Sure, for sure. Shout out. For you, man, take us through, Chicago basketball. It's tough, man. You got to really be a tough, hard-nosed guard, especially guards, playing in Chicago. Just take us through, some of the matchups that you had to endure, some of your favorite matchups. Who were some of your toughest players that you had to guard? You know what I mean? Because every night, you're going to get somebody tough.
Oh yeah, being from the go, you got to be tough. Or if you don't be tough, they gonna eat you alive for real. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to hold your own out there. You got to be able to put on. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got a name, you gonna have a target on your back from the
Facts.
get go. You know what I'm saying? Guys gonna try to come at you either way you want it. As far as like matchups and stuff like that, I had my class, bro, in my era, we was guard heavy anyway. So I had a couple guards that was tough. Ahmad Starks over at Whitney Young was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Fabian Harris was tough at Hyde Park always. Walt Lemon was a dog. Um, man, we had. And you just talking about guys in my class or just period like
Any,
matchup
yeah,
wise?
any matchup that you may have had that you remember, you know
I
what I
been
mean?
here all day naming dudes because like it was just it wasn't no breaks for real, bro. It was like it was so many killers, bro. It was too many. It was too
Every
many.
night, every night,
Yeah, every night you had to like lace them up and be like, all right, let's go. We gotta get to it. You know what
for
I
sure,
mean? So
for sure.
yeah, it was a lot of killers.
For sure. Mike, tell me how kind of, growing up in Chicago, tough area, you know what I mean? You got to keep your head on straight, always staying focused. How did you maintain and stay focused and make sure that you didn't kind of go off track of what you really want to accomplish in the end?
Man, my people was behind me 100%, and they always motivate me too. You know what I mean? Because like I said, growing up, like the hood I was from, man, it's so easy to get distracted out here. You know what I'm saying? Being in the streets and the gang violence and what goes on in the neighborhood and stuff like that. But my people, bro, and the people that I hung around, like some of my closest homies, you know what I'm saying, always kept me, you know what I'm saying, focused, motivated, and stuff like that. So definitely get my ass off to them because who knows, bro? If I ain't had like the certain people around me, what I would have been doing
For
right now
sure.
or back. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
definitely my family, and my people, like who's close, my closest circle, kept me going for sure.
Facts. Shout out to your people, man. That's tough. That's love. For you, man, 4 years of Foreman, you know what I mean? Take us through, some of your favorite memories that you had, some of your, learning experiences, you know what I mean? And, if you have any highs and lows that kind of want to share, that you kind of went through at Foreman.
Uh, like I said, man, all the guys that playing AAU, we playing AAU. I had all us. We went to Foreman, so those like my brothers for real, man. All them games we won, them conference championships we won, them rival games. Foreman, if you don't know, it's a small gym, so them games they used to be lit. They used to be packed. I
Right.
miss all those moments, you know what I'm saying, going against those schools and like um them games we had, like them it was years that we was top two in the state with Whitney Young. So it was kind of like a bit of a little rival we had, man, with Whitney Young. Them games was always lit. Playing in them tournaments, Final Four at the Paul, you know what I'm saying?
Um,
Having the chance to go down state, playing. I can go on, man. It's just the battles, bro. Just the battles we had, and then just facing against like some of the top teams in the state and being one of the top teams in the state. Those are all the memories that I could bring to you for real. That I miss it. You know what I'm saying? I still, you know what I mean. I still like think about it to this day, man. Losing them
right,
games, having a chance to play the city, man. I wanted that, but you know what I mean. It was definitely a time for sure, man. That era of basketball for sure.
for sure. Take us through, you know what I mean? You do your years at Foreman, you know what I mean? You graduate, now you go on to St. Louis University. Did you have to adjust to the different lifestyle now? You know what I mean? Now you going to a next level. Where it go? Did he cut out? me see if I can get Mike back in here and cut out. Let's see what happened. Give him a minute, see if he can come back in. There we go. There we go. You good, Brody?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But take us through.
I'm straight.
Okay. Did you have to, kind of adjust to the different lifestyle now? You know what I mean? Now you're going to college where things are, more stricter. You know what I mean? The conditioning, the preparation, the getting stronger, the pace of the speed of game. Like, did you have to adjust to any of that, or did you kind of, catch on quick with it?
Oh no, every level is different. I mean, from grammar school to high school was different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then of course, like college, I feel like it's hardest. Like everybody's faster, stronger, just as good as you. You know what I'm saying? So definitely got to adjust. As far as like the system and like actually my coach teaching me, Rick and Jazz, he was so big on like teaching, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Teaching from like basic stuff, you know what I'm saying, that helped my game, took it to another level. You know what I'm saying? It was times where we used to come in practice and we had binders, bro, like we was in school. And we had chairs like on the side. Like, he'll have us sit in chairs and like as he teaches, he'll tell us to write the stuff down, to take it back home and like study it. You know what I'm saying? So we can know. As a freshman, we weren't trying to do that, bro. We trying to get in there, and you know what I'm saying? We trying to hoop. So we like, man, why you trying to be writing this? But as the years went on, I understood why he did it. You know what I'm saying? And then he made us see the game like a lot easier and stuff. The game came a lot slower to us. You know what I'm saying? As far as freshmen and stuff like that. And I think that's why we had so much success. The way that he approached the game to us and like gave it to us every day and stuff like that. So definitely had to adjust though, because like coming from Foreman, bro, like it wasn't really like all that teaching and stuff. It was just, you know what I mean, roll the ball out, we hooping. You know what I'm saying? High school, but in college, slow down, run this set of screens, stagger. Um, balls. It's a lot of ball screens and stuff like that. Transit, like I did a lot of jumping and passing. It was one thing I used to do in college that I used to jump and pass a lot, bro. Every time I did it, he gave me like sprints. You know what I'm saying? So, and I hated running. Bro. Hated. So every time I did it, he'll blow the whistle. Sprints.
You already
Like
knew.
it was a habit because I used to do it a lot at Foreman. You know what I mean? So bringing that to Foreman over there, I had to get rid of that habit like quick. Well, I was gonna be like probably the most in shape dude in the country for real. Cause I did it a lot for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely just take that. He definitely took my game to another level, bro. Like teach me all the little things and I like I said, that gave us so much success and like going into our previous years and so you know what I'm saying, my sophomore, junior and senior year, man, for real. So
what was the biggest adjustment? I know you said he kind of penalized you for for jumping and passing the ball, but like how did you maintain having to because you practice 2 or 3 you may have to get up early morning to work out, then you got school, then you got practice, then you got film, then you got to travel. You know what I mean? It's totally different from high school. You know what I'm saying?
no, that's tough for sure.
Did that play a big factor in your growth? Like I said, that's tough to do already, but as a college student, especially a freshman coming in, did you have to adjust to that quickly too also?
For sure, like you just said, the morning practices, bro, getting up at 5 o'clock, and then after that going straight to class. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? And then shit, practice is already like another class. We in there for 3 hours. Like I told, we the binders in there, so it's like we get 6 hours every day of class, just class. Like you know what I mean? But definitely something I had to get used to. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was sometimes I was late for practice. It was so early. Like I had to set so many alarms, bro. I'm like, because you miss practice, it look like you gonna be running. You know what I
right.
mean? They was strict at St. Louis, but it was for the better though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, to make us better, not only as players but as men for real. You know what I'm saying? To be responsible and stuff like that. So definitely had to adjust to that.
For sure. Now, how was the game speed for you? You know what I mean? What did you realize when you was like, oh, okay, this is a different game? You know what I mean? Guys are bigger, stronger, faster. You know what I mean? The court is bigger. You know what I mean? Like, how did you adjust to that? And did you do it well? Adjusting to the style of play. Alex, I know you said your coach was hard nosed, tough guy, but he was
Yeah,
he was a teacher on top of it. You know what I mean? So how did
yeah.
you adjust to the style of game?
It was tough. I mean, we could tell in practice he made us. Our style of play was a lot of running up and down, but we did have some sets too. You know what I mean? But we get the opportunity to he kind of gave us like that free system. You know what I'm saying? To use our talents. You know what I'm saying? To play off everybody else and get some stuff going on offensive end. You know what I mean? But in Foreman, we did a lot of running, a lot of running, bro, a lot of running. But in St. Louis, though, I had to. It was times I be wanting to go, and he'd be like, slow down, son, run this set. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I didn't play a lot of point at Foreman either. I was on the wing. I was basically like a scorer for real. So at
Okay.
St. Louis, I was basically like a PG. I transitioned to that as well. So like slowing the game down, come off the screen, knowing when to shoot, knowing when to pass, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff I had, you know, um, that I had to remember, you know, to ain't going to school and then getting up at 5, doing learning all this terminology, teaching. So it was a lot of freshman. It was tough, but like I said, it helped me for sure.
I think you went out again, Mike. Hold on. I think you going in and out. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see if I can fix it real quick. Let me
Yeah.
see if I can. You can hear me now, Brody?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. There we go. There we go.
Cool.
For you, man, what was the biggest jump or adjustment for you? You know what I mean? Okay, you got your freshman year out the way. You know, you got all the little nervousness, the creaks and crannies out. Now you on to your sophomore year. You know what I mean? What was your mindset going into your sophomore year? Like, okay, freshman year out the way. I know what to expect. I know the coach. I know the coach's style. I know the play. How did you adjust to your sophomore year?
Oh, it was time to go. Like I knew everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I'm fresh out, so I know all plays. I know what to expect from the coaches, from the players. The chemistry is there. So now we can go out and like hoop. I can really play. I can be me for real. You know what I'm saying? And within the team, within the system, and stuff like that. So it's crazy because freshman year was probably our down year. We only won 12 games my freshman year. It was so
yeah,
much going on throughout that freshman year. We had 4 freshmen in the start lineup, bro. Starter. So just think
mm,
about my head spinning. I know they head spinning. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So it
right.
was just so much going on. But I think it was good for us though, because having 4 freshmen in that starting lineup, and then imagination when we all get better, we all get this down. And
Right.
just imagination, you know what I mean? So but yeah, that sophomore year, that's the first year we went to the tournament and stuff like that. Um Putting the league on notice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody started like St. Louis basketball is here for real. You know what I'm saying? So sophomore year we started to get to it.
How was that experience? You found like, okay, just a kid from Chicago playing in the tournament, which is the biggest stage in college. You know what I mean? You on TV now. The whole city could tap in. Your family could come to the games. How was that whole experience for you, man? I know that you probably, had to really lock in. Like, all right, I'm here now. I'm here.
It was dope. It was dope. Like you said, it's the biggest stage. That's why everybody play. They play in March, man. That's what everybody want to play. They want to play in March. So be able to be on that stage and like play against the top teams in the nation, man, it's big time. You know what I mean? You got everybody from back home checking in, um, watching you, supporting you, and that's what you want as a college athlete for real. You know what I'm saying? You want to play on that stage and you want to be able to like show the world what you can do, not only you individually but the team. You know what I'm saying? And do big things with that. So
Facts.
yeah, it was dope.
For you, Mike, was doing 4 years always a part of the plan, or did it kind of just, over time you was like, okay, I'm gonna come back next year. I'm gonna come back next year. Like, was you always thinking 4 years?
I really wanted to have that year, bro. You know what I'm saying? That it made sense for everybody to be like, oh, okay, then you can like, you know what I'm saying? You could do this and do that. I really wanted to have like a great career at the university for real. Um, my 4 years there was like probably the best 4 years I had in my life, bro. The love, like basketball wise, off the court. St. Louis, like I said all the time, is like a second home to me. You know what I'm saying? But I had so much success there, and the work I put in and stuff like that. So I didn't even think about like leaving early or nothing like that. I wanted to like, you know what I'm saying, spend those 4 years and do what I can do at the best I can be at the highest, you know what I'm saying, level. So
For sure, for sure. And shout out to you, bro. I seen you just got inducted,
like,
into St. Louis Hall of Fame. So shout out to you, buddy. That's big time for real, man. For
you
sure.
know what? That's crazy because that's that sophomore year. That's my second year. That was that team. You know what I mean?
Mm,
That's crazy. You just brought that up, man. Yeah, just being like, you know what I'm saying, inducted in that's big time. You know what I'm saying? Never
nice.
thought I was gonna be in the Hall of Fame for a class at my school. Never. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's something dope too.
for sure. 4 years done. You know what I mean? You at the end of your career, college wise. what was your mindset? Okay, graduate. You thinking league? You thinking, what's your mindset when that time comes? All right, I'm graduating. What's my next step?
I mean, whoever want to play pro, that's our dream to play in the league. You know what I'm saying? But just because we want to play, don't mean it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? So it's all about, what I'm saying. I know I had to put some work in, workouts. It's combats, whatever the case may be. But the first thing, you got to have a good agent. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's all about the people who know who you know. You know what I mean? About the connects and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely wanted to play pro. That was always a dream of mine, to continue to play ball. You know what I'm saying? And to do that for 10 years is a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Playing in some of the highest leagues, having some of the top performances. The only thing my downfall, I ain't win no chip. That's something I tried to do. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah.
definitely wanted to do that because I won at every level except the pro level. You know what I mean? I had some great runs though. I played on some great teams. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had a lot of great performances and stuff like that. Um, been traveled the world, the places I never even dreamed of. You know what I'm saying? Just bouncing the ball. So that was always a blessing for me. So yeah.
What has been yet this far? What has been your favorite stop? You know what I mean? Playing 10 years pro ball is love. You know what I mean? Not everybody get the chance to do that. But do you have a favorite one where you was like, man, it's just all around just perfect?
Man, I mean, I played in UK 2 years. You know what I mean? That's the only place I played 2 years. You know what I mean? And basketball was good there. You know what I'm saying? It was times I went out like they show you love there too. You know what I mean? Like the love was good in both the cities that I played in. If you want to go out, like the nightlife was good too. You know what I mean? Enjoyed that. If I had to choose, I'd probably say like the UK and stuff like that. I didn't travel to London. London is like Americanized, so that's like being in the States for real. You know what I'm saying? No,
Facts.
dope, bro. So I probably go UK.
So what was the biggest adjustment? You know what I mean? Was it the time difference? Was it the, you know what I mean? The
Oh yeah,
food was slightly different. You know what I mean? You try to call home and you realize you 8 hours ahead. Like,
man, that for the first 2 years be tough. You be like,
yeah.
be wide awake, everybody at the crib sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like up all night. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no, that's something for sure I had to get used to, man. Cause it's like it be sometimes like I be sleep. Oh, like I'm over there, I'm sleep. Mom's blowing me up, like, you know what I'm saying? She thinks something wrong. And I'm just over here asleep. You must forget. Like the time difference is like
Right.
crazy, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Had
So
you freaking out. Yeah.
but that's definitely something I have to get used to for sure. That time difference, it's gonna kick your ass, bro, for sure.
Facts. Facts. Mike, who were some of your favorite matchups over there, man? You know what I mean? Like I said, who did you have to run up against? You know what I mean? Some fun games that you may have played in over there. Cause man, if you're a real hoop fan, you know the atmosphere over there is different, man. You know
Oh,
what I
it's
mean?
different. It's unmatched. It's unmatched, bro. They love
Just
sports over there.
those.
They love it. They love sports over there, bro. Like the games be crazy. The atmosphere, like you said, is unmatched, man. I didn't play against DeAndre Liggins. He from Chicago. You know what I'm
Real.
saying?
Yep.
I done passed up against Ticket. Um, there's so many guards, bro. Oh, I done played against so many guards. I'm trying to think of some guys that you probably know. You know what I mean? Malik Wayans, he went to Villanova.
Nova.
Villanova.
Yep.
He
Yep.
was
Tough.
tough. He was tough. I think he probably was the best guard I ever played against.
Let's see. Let's see. I lost him again. See if I can get him back. Excuse me.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yo, yo. Yep. We good.
Yeah. But who I said? I said DeAndre Liggins. I said Malik Wayans. Trying to think of some more guys. Another guard. I played against Darrell Combs. You know Darrell Combs.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
He
We
went to is it
matched up.
IUP?
Yep,
Did he go
yep.
to Okay.
He
Okay.
went to Thornwood in the city in the burbs. He went to Thornwood.
Yep.
Um, just that's just a couple I can name off the top of my head. But I went against it was so many guards, bro.
For sure.
Tough guards. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a pro level, so you playing against the best
For
every
sure.
night. You know what I mean? So
Man, Mike, man, if if you could give some advice to a youngin that may have, the same story or similar to, your story, what would be some advice that you would give them to really lock in, to really keep going, especially from being from a city like Chicago?
Man, take advantage of every opportunity you get, bro. No matter what you're doing, you know what I'm saying. Every opportunity I got to play like combines and stuff like that in front of college coaches, in front of every game I went out there before I even started getting college attention. I went the hardest, bro. You never know who watching for real. You know what I'm saying. I never want to take those games back. You know what I mean. So every opportunity I got, I just took 100% full advantage of it. You know what I'm saying. You never know
Facts.
what'll happen, what that performance can take you. You know what I'm saying, to the next level. They always say your life can change in a year, for real. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably the advice that I get. Like, whatever it is, bro, whatever opportunity you got, go hard at it. Give
Facts.
it go all for real. You never know. You know what
Facts.
I'm saying?
Facts. And then my last one for you, bro. I can't let you leave without asking you probably my favorite question to ask anybody from Chicago, man. If I would say, man, I need your top five from the city all time, man, who your top five
Top five from the city,
from the city, yo?
like like pros, like NBA,
However you
like
want to say it. You could do a pro, you can do a neighborhood,
I gotta
guys
go.
from
I
the
gotta
area.
go pros because I gotta go pros. They play at the highest level. You know what I mean? That's the reason
Okay.
why they in the league. You know what I mean?
Facts. Okay, talk to me. Let me hear it. Top five.
Damn, it's so many, boy. You
That's the
gonna put
funny part. That's
all
why I
like
love
that?
the question,
That's
man.
crazy. I mean, you gotta put D Rose in there. Like, like let's stop playing. Let's put D Rose in
Facts.
there.
Facts.
Um, and you got Zeke, Isaiah Thomas. I ain't even finna play there. Like, come on,
Yeah.
D Wade. We gonna have
Yeah.
to do 3 guards. We gotta do 3 guards.
Got
So
to.
Zeke, D Rose, D Wade, AD. You KG count? KG
I
count?
let some people have it, man. He clamps. Man, he still show love to Chicago, man. He basically might as well be from here, man. You might as well go on KG
If
and
KG count, that's what we gonna have to do. We gotta go KG. Gotta go
facts.
KG. Yeah.
Facts.
That's
That'd be my
that's what.
favorite question, man. Because everybody be like, man, I'm gonna forget somebody. I'm like, that's what make it fun, man. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
But that's a
Chicago.
good thing about the city, bro. We got so many pros, man. So many killers. So many guys that didn't even make it. That was like NBA. You know what I mean? It's too many. It's too many. So that like a question like that, like you say, that's tough. And you say it for last too. You put me on the spot with that one for real.
For
So
sure. Right before you leave. Yeah, yeah.
that's
My
super
God,
dope.
man. I appreciate you, big bro. Always, love every time I see you, man. Glad we finally got it done, man.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people
for sure.
get mic on this. So I'm like, I'm with no mic, man. So I'm appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Always love, appreciate to what you contributed to the game of basketball. You know what I mean? Blessing my platform. So all love to you and
Sure.
whatever you got coming up for you, big bro, man. We'll stay in touch.
All love, bro. For sure.
Love, bro. See you later.
Love.